Hey there, CJ Math students. Welcome to homework 4.6, evaluating algebraic expressions. It's a practice homework and no calculators are allowed. All we do when we evaluate algebraic expressions is plug in the value that they give us for the variable. So if m is equal to 3 and n is equal to 4, then we're in this case plugging in 3 parentheses 4 squared, and then we're following order of operations. So notice we do exponents first before we multiply. This does not mean 34, it means 3 times 4, but we have to do the 4 squared first. So 4 squared is 4 times 4, not 4 times 2, so that gives us 16. And then we bring down a 3 times 16. 3 times 16 is 54. You could keep the 3 in the parentheses, it would still mean multiplication, but 54 is your answer. I'd pause right now and try and do number 2. All right, let's take a look at number 3. In this case, we have x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 6. So I'll have 6. I can plug in with parentheses if I want. Usually when they're not right next to a variable, I don't do that. So I'll just plug in with 6 minus parentheses 6 minus and then 2. Right? So order of operations tells us we need to do parentheses first. So this will become 6 minus 2 is 4, and then 6 minus 2 is 2. Okay? So hopefully you'll notice I'm still getting that kind of V shape that I was getting when I was doing all those order of operations problems earlier this week. You should also be getting that kind of V shape. It should be narrowed down to 1. Right? Next one, number 5. We have A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 5. So interestingly enough, we'll just have a whole bunch of 5s on this one. So I have 5 parentheses 5 plus 5, close the parentheses, plus, and then this 5 is meant to be B. Right? So again, we have to do parentheses first. So this tells us we have 5 parentheses, 5 plus 5 is 10, close the parentheses, plus 5. Now we have to do multiplication because a number next to a parentheses means multiplication. So 5 times 10 is 50 plus 5, and then 50 plus 5 is obviously just 55. So D is your answer. I'd pause right now and try and do number 6. Number 7, in this case we have x is equal to 3. We also have y is equal to 3. So getting a little lucky on some of these. So we have 3 squared plus 5 plus 3. All right, so 3 squared is not 3 times 2, it's 3 times 3. That gives you 9 plus 5 plus 3. 9 plus 5 is 14 plus 3, and 14 plus 3 is 17. So B is your answer. I'd pause right now and try and do number 8. All right, on the back side, starting to get a little bit more tricky. We have x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 6. So for x, y, I like to put those in parentheses. So parentheses 2 and then parentheses 6. And then we have minus 2 squared plus 3. So order of operations tells us that we have to do what's inside the parentheses first, and inside the parentheses we actually have an exponent, 2 squared, so we have to do that first. So we're going to have 2 times 6 on the outside, 2 times 6, minus, do this parentheses exponents first, 2 squared, which is 4, plus 3. And then we still need to do the parentheses first, so it's 2 still times 6 minus 7, so that's what 4 plus 3 is. And now I can finally do 2 times 6. 2 times 6 is 12 minus 7, and 12 minus 7 is our answer of 5. So C. Number 11, we have 3 variables this time. We have x is equal to 4, y is equal to 4, and z is equal to 2. Okay, so on the outside for number 11 we have 2 parentheses 4 plus 4 times 4. So watch what I do here. I'm going to put this in parentheses and the other 4 in parentheses, and then I'm going to close my parentheses, right? And then minus 4. I just put these in parentheses, so I don't think I have 44. You could easily put 4.4 if you want, but when you have variables right next to each other, it does mean multiplication. So inside the parentheses, I have 4 plus 4 times 4. I have to do the 4 times 4 first. So that gives me 2 parentheses 4 plus 4 times 4 is 16. Close it, minus 4. Still got parentheses I got to work with, so 2 times 4 plus 16 is 20 minus 4. And now I have to do my multiplication. A number next to parentheses means multiplication, so 2 times 20 is 40 minus 4, and 40 minus 4 is 36. So A is our answer. All right. For evaluating tables, basically what you're going to do is you have 3 values for x, and you're just going to plug in and solve, right? So for instance, number 1, you have 2 plus 1 times 3, and you have to kind of do the order of operations in your head. You got to do 1 times 3, which is 3, then add it to 2, and you get 5. And then you say 2 plus, and this time you're plugging in 2 for x. So 2 times 3. Again, order of operations, you got to do 2 times 3, which is 6, plus 2, which is 8. And then again, 2 plus, this time you're plugging in 3. 3 times 3, and you got to do order of operations, 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 2, which is 11. So the expression stays the same the entire time. The only thing that changes are the x values. Number 16. So you got parentheses 2 plus 1 to the cubed root. So first you have to do what's in parentheses. 2 plus 1 is 3, and 3 to the third is not 9. It's 3. I'll bring it up here. 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. Right. The next one you have 2 plus 2 to the third root. And so 2 plus 2 is 4. And so you're looking at 4 times 4 times 4, which 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 more is 64. And then finally you have 3 plus 3 to the cube root. And 3 plus 3 is 6, so then you're looking at 6 times 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36, and then 36 times 6 is actually 216. Right? So again, the expression stays the same except for the x value, and then you do order of operations to get what your answer becomes. Right? Finally, I'm going to do number 17. So it says the area of a trapezoid, this is a trapezoid, is represented by the algebraic expressions b1 plus b2. You can almost pretend that like this is an x and this is a y, right? So, but it's the base 1 and the base 2. So if you add the bases together and then divide by 2 and multiply by the height. So where b1 and b2 are the bases, h is the height. Find the area of the trapezoid if b1 equals 8, b2 equals 6, and h equals 4. So let's write the algebraic expression. It's b1 plus b2 divided by 2 times height. And now we're going to go ahead and plug in these values. B1 is going to be 8, B2 is going to be 6, and H is going to be 4. So let's plug in. So we've got 8 plus 6 divided by 2 times 4. Right, and now we just work this out, right? So we do parentheses first. 8 plus 6 is 14. Then divided by 2 times 4. Remember, you multiply or divide whichever comes first as you read left to right. So as I read left to right, division comes first. So 14 divided by 2 is 7. And then 7 times 4 gives us our answer of 28. And usually we say units squared or inches squared or meters squared, but they don't give us any units here, so we'll say units squared, because area is all about how many little squares can I fit inside of a shape. So there's our answer, 28 units squared. I'll leave you to do number 18 again. You're just going to read this and you're going to plug in these values, the mass of 91 and the volume of 13. You're just going to plug that into this algebraic expression right here. to find out what the density of that substance is. That's it. Call me if you have questions.